Some of the rankings have video footage of Little Nightmares funny compilations for your viewing pleasure. To watch all the footage and understand these rankings, the link to the playlist is in the description. Today, we're going to be ranking all of the Little Nightmares characters from S being the best to F being the worst. Now, this tier ranking system is going to be based off the funny compilations I've made in my YouTube channel, so if you haven't checked that out yet, the link is in the description for all of those videos. And also, if you haven't already, guys, make sure you hit that like button, turn it blue, and subscribe if you're new. We have about 24 characters to go through, so we're going to be taking a little bit of time, and yet again, this is going to be based off the videos that I have made, so I might have my own bias, but here we go. We're starting off right away with the first one being the leeches. So in the Little Nightmares games and in the videos, the leeches are actually the easiest thing to get around. The only thing, I guess, is that they really like Bob or Runaway Kid.
Come here now.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh. In the beginning, 6 goes through them pretty quickly. They don't really provide too much content, to be honest. I mean, it's a nice, I guess, character, a nice little playful character for the beginning, but very, very easy and kind of difficult to make a funny compilation out of them. They do talk to Bob a lot and try to trick him into eating him. So I'm going to be a little bit friendly. I'm going to give them a D just because of the content that they provide is a little bit low. And also the character design is kind of disgusting. So D for disgusting. These characters are all out of order, so it's going to be nice and, you know, fun to put them in a tier ranking system. I'm not going to be putting, like, all of the main protagonists in S and A. So here we go. Let's do the viewers. So the viewers were in Little Nightmares 2. They provided me with a lot of content for Mono to play tricks on them. They're also a little bit dumb. And the scene where they start running at Mono because he shut off the TV was really action-packed. I really like that.
My name's Mono. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Get back here!
Oh, TV, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Woo! I crapped my pants again. Oh.
And there's another scene where there's a viewer watching the TV and Mono tricks him by shutting off the TV, and then the guy runs off a cliff and you can just slowly hear him falling to his death.
Hey, mister, there's another TV over there. Check it out. Whoa, TV! Whoa!
I think they're really funny. I think they're a good addition to the game. It's actually really spooky when you're crawling around that house. So I'm actually going to go ahead, put them a little bit higher. They are a good antagonist. I don't think they deserve to be an A, but I think they're mid-tier. I think they're a good character to have in the game. Okay, now we're going to the 2 protagonists of Little Nightmares 3. We have Lo. We don't really know anything about these guys because Little Nightmares 3 still hasn't come out yet. However, I do like the character designs. I really like his mask, and I do really like the fact that he has a bow and arrow. I think the content that we're going to be able to do with Lo and Alone is going to be high quality. I think they're going to be actually 2 of our favorite characters in the future, and it's going to be a surprise on how I'm going to voice them. But for Lo, I really like the fact that he has a bow and he's gonna be very playful, very dumb, and just very much a spaz. So I have a feeling he's gonna be pretty high up there, but we don't know yet. We do not know anything about the game, except for like the very start of the game, the beta gameplay that has been released. So I'm not gonna rank them too high right now. I'm actually going to set them up as C, because I have no idea. I'm gonna have to do another video of these later once Little Nightmares 3 is done and add some characters to this ranking system. But I think that putting Lo at C and also Alone at C, because we just don't know yet. Ah yes, the granny. Now the granny was only in a couple of episodes. She lurks in the water. She's always trying to trick Bob.
Do not enter the water. The granny is hungry and waiting to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
If you don't know who Bob is, it's Runaway Kid. That's what we name him. Guys, make sure to go in the description below. Watch all of those Little Nightmares videos. There's like 80 plus videos. Very, very fun to watch. I highly recommend them. And you're really going to understand that all of these characters have completely different personalities that you would have never thought. So the granny. She actually had a really funny scene chasing Bob. But she doesn't appear anywhere else. So, I mean, we have very limited content on her. I wish we saw her more. So I'm going to have to go, it can't be the same as the leech. Or actually, maybe, because she was in the scenes for such a small period of time. But I don't know. I feel bad ranking them with low and alone because they're going to be protagonists. So I'd hate to give them a D, but I mean, we just didn't have enough content on the granny. She did have a really funny voice, but hopefully we see her again in the future. Probably not. Oh yes, the guest. So the guest is in one of the very first videos I made on Little Nightmares, and you can see them while Six is trying to escape. They're actually very, very funny. They're extremely hungry, and there are some amazing, hilarious parts in the funny compilations, especially when the table is thrown at Six and she gets squished.
Hello, everybody. I'm here for the Christmas dinner.
Oh my god. Or when this guy is trying to eat all the sausages and he still is hungry and trying to eat Six. And then the whole chasing part was really, really hilarious. So I actually think this antagonist in the game ranks pretty high up. I wouldn't go, S tier, but the funny videos on the guest was really high up there. I actually might rank them to be a little bit higher than the viewers, because the viewers, we only had a limited amount of time. But it's close. I feel like I'm gonna give them an A because they're really the very big first antagonist in the game that made an impact to the funny compilations. And yes, they we had other ones before then, like the janitor, but I feel like the visitors had the most amount of content, and the most hilarious parts in the funny compilations. So I'm gonna rank them an A. I think they deserve to be an A. I think it's a very awesome character design, and just the way they reacted, the way they moved and everything was really, really funny. Okay, we have our antagonist in the very Little Nightmares game. This is the Pretender. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was a bit upset by the presence of the Pretender. I wanted to see a lot more. It was very difficult to make even funny compilations on the Pretender because she appeared in such low quantity, and then at the very end, all she really did was just fall off the cliff.
You're safe now.
Oh, thank you so much.
With the Raincoat Girl, or 9 we call her. So to be honest, a little bit of a letdown, or a big letdown. I'm actually gonna match her hair color and put her in F, because I think she is the worst antagonist we've seen so far. All right, now next up we have the Thin Man, Thin Mono. Probably going to rank him really high. If you haven't seen Little Nightmares 2 funny compilations, guarantee you are gonna be very, very excited, very happy that you watched it, because the fight between Mono and the Thin Man, or Thin Mono, was absolutely epic. I also thought that the entire series, when the Thin Man appears, all those chase scenes were really fun to do, really fun to watch. And I'm gonna give the Thin Man, I'm gonna give him a good ranking. Now, would I give him a S? The character design's really good. There were some really awesome parts, using him through the TVs and all that stuff, coming out of the TVs and everything. It was really cool. He also has some really awesome superpowers. But putting him at S, it's I don't think he deserves to be an S. You really have to be one of the best characters in the game for an S. So I'm actually gonna put him in tier A. I think he deserves to be up there, and he's been lonely. He's been pretty lonely, so it's nice to give him a high ranking. All right, next up, guys, we have one of the fan favorites, the Hunter. Yes, the hunter scenes in the beginning of Little Nightmares 2 were absolutely hilarious, and we actually used the hunter for other videos on the channel. We actually just made a video about Mono becoming the hunter. If you haven't watched that, it's also in the description down below. Guarantee you'll like that one. So the scene with Mono and Six running away from the hunter were one of my favorite to do, because you can make so much content out of it. You can make so many funny different, scenarios, trying to like run really fast by the hunter, trying to like sneak behind him so we can go back into the house and everything. And just the way he hits Mono, like Mono is just talking, blah, 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 and then he just gets hit by the gun to the head. It was a pleasure to create content on this, and I think the character design is amazing. Blowing the hunter away once you scale the wall to get the gun was really, really awesome. I really like making that part as well. He's probably dead now though, so he had a short part in the series, but I would rank him pretty high. Now, does he rank higher than the guest and Thin Mono? I would have to say that he's pretty high up there, guys. In the Discord, if you want to join, it's in the description below as well. A lot of people made a bunch of fan art on the hunter, and all of the drawings were absolutely amazing. So he's gonna be up there, guys. Like, he might also be an A character. Now, S is gonna be hard, so I'm gonna put him in A. I'm gonna match him with these guys, so we have 2 antagonists and 1 protagonist right now in A, but it's gonna take a lot to get to S. So let's continue on. We have my name is Bob, or Runaway Kid. That's right. So Runaway Kid, we had some really, really funny compilations. He is very dumb in our universe. He had his teddy bear in the very first Rico channel. I had some amazing videos about Bob. He's actually a pretty big fan favorite on the channel as well, with my name. But would he be ranked an S? Is he worthy of an S ranking? To be honest, when you're looking at protagonists, I feel like I have some other ones that are a little bit more favorited in the channel and in the series as a whole. So Bob, and I also did run a poll on which character that people like the most. So I don't know if I can put him in an S tier. I really like him. I think he's one of my favorites. But does he rank up to the guests, Thin Mono and the hunter? I mean, he is one of the protagonists. It would be nice to put a protagonist, but you know what? I can't have all the protagonists be at the very top. So what I'm going to do is actually put him with the viewers. I think the amount of content and the amount of funny compilations that were had between Bob and all the things he did, and then the viewers and the Mono scenes are pretty equal. So I'm actually going to put Bob at a B. He might be an A, he might be a B, but I don't think he would be considered an S. You really need to have something unique to get an S. Oh yes, next up we have Ricardo, or Pedro, or Carlos, or Bob, actually, because he does become a gnome. These guys appear everywhere in the series. They're amazing. I think the character design and just how they created them inside of the Little Nightmares universe, being all the children that were turned into gnomes, are really, really awesome. I think they add a really good value, or they add really good value addition to the game. It would feel a little bit empty if they weren't in there, to be honest. They appear through every little crevasse that you can see, and they add a little bit of excitement in the game, especially when you have them as achievements, like hugging all of them and then burning all of them. Six really likes to burn all the gnomes for some reason, and eat them when the sausage isn't enough. She'll eat the gnomes. But do they belong at an S? I don't think so, unless we're able to play them more. We were able to play as a gnome, which is really, really cool as well. So honestly, I mean, they're up there. I would think that they would have to match up here with Bob, I think, because Bob becomes a gnome. And they also do provide a lot of content in the funny compilations, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put them as a B. I think they deserve to be a B. We can't put them at a C because these guys, we don't even have any funny compilations or any footage on. So I can't rank them at a C. I feel like so far what we have is pretty pretty fair. Now, we have Mono. Yes, we have the main character in Little Nightmares 2. And I gotta say, guys, if it weren't for Mono, I mean, the channel I don't think would be as successful. Mono's funny compilations, he is by far the fan favorite. He's very, very cute. He's still very, very dumb. But sometimes, you know, he can outsmart you. He also has unbelievable superpowers. He can become extremely fast, jump extremely far, and just teleport through stuff. I mean, he can teleport as well. Him against the hunter, I mean, you can see that his superpowers really pull through. The only thing is his superpowers weren't enough to be able to survive when 6 wouldn't pull him up. But he was able to outrun Monster 6. But that's it. So I have to say that as a protagonist and everything he provided for the channel, Mono absolutely takes the first S ranking.
All right.
Okay, guys, we have the Doctor, the roof crawling antagonist in Little Nightmares 2. There's a really, really funny part when Mono is trying to save the patient and the Doctor starts crawling into the room and just is asking Mono, "What the hell did you do? You killed my patient." There were really, really funny shadow parts behind the curtain, and just the chase scenes with the Doctor were really cool, and hiding from him were awesome. Now, in terms of the content, the amount of funny compilations I could make from him, I think, you know, they were pretty good. Would I rank him above other antagonists? Is he as good as the guest? Is he as good as Thin Mono? I would say no. I would actually put him mid-tier. I think he provided good quality of content, but there could have been more. So I am going to put him at a C. I think that's also pretty fair. Okay, Very Little Nightmares protagonist. We have 9. Yes, Raincoat Girl. I really enjoyed Very Little Nightmares. I don't think a lot of people have played Very Little Nightmares, and if you haven't, I highly recommend it. I'm going to put the Steam link in the description below. And also, again, there are a bunch of funny compilations and playthrough of Very Little Nightmares, and you can really get a sense of how Raincoat Girl was. Very similar to 6, very similar. They're actually, I feel like they're like the same person. That's why we call them 6 to 9. But would Raincoat Girl rank as high as Bob? It's a tough one. I mean, she's a little bit smarter, but some of the stuff that she does is a lot dumber, to be honest. The character design, I mean, it's not very original because we did get 6 first, right? So is the Raincoat the same as 6? Does it provide 6 with superpowers? I don't know. The playthrough was super fun. I feel like Raincoat Girl has to go through a lot more antagonists than anybody else. So I'm gonna give Raincoat Girl the benefit of the doubt. I think she provided a lot of good content, and this is what the tier ranking system is about. Is she better than Lola Alone? I would think so. So I'm gonna go ahead and put Raincoat Girl at a B. The Craftsman, yes. He has some sort of like telekinesis and some abilities to lift you up in the air and kill you. He's actually one of my favorite antagonists in Very Little Nightmare. I think the character design is really fun, and the puzzle solving in order to get away from him are actually a bit complex. It was really fun making the content on the Craftsman parts of the game. Let's see, where would I rank him? Would I rank him higher than the Granny and the Leech? Absolutely. Way better than the Pretender. I think the Pretender was the biggest letdown. Would I rank the Craftsman higher than the Doctor? I think they're pretty even, to be honest. I'm going to go ahead and put him at a C as well. Okay, so next up we have the Lady. So everyone has, you know, their own beliefs and conspiracy theories that the Lady is 6. It could make sense. I mean, you have that feeling like, you know, at the end of the game where you're sneaking by the Lady quarters and everything, that you can get a sense that maybe 6 is the Lady because Mono did end up being the Thin Man, but we don't know. We don't have confirmation yet of that. We don't know what's behind the mask. We have no idea. I'm going to rank the lady based off the amount of funny compilations and amount of content we were able to do. The theories behind the lady are awesome, but I gotta be honest, guys, like when I think of Little Nightmares, like I don't immediately think of the lady. I really don't. I feel like there's other characters that go above and beyond the lady. Like I don't know. I'm probably gonna get a little bit of pushback on this, but honestly, I was gonna rank her relatively low. I was honestly thinking about a D in terms of the content and how much was missed out on the lady. I think there could have been a lot more of the lady in the first Little Nightmares game, but I really can't do it. I feel like she's gonna have something else to do in Little Nightmares 3. We don't know yet. I don't think she deserves a C. Does she deserve a B? Does she deserve to be up here? In terms of like relevance in the series, maybe. But I'm only looking at the ranking system in terms of how funny or how much content I was able to do, and I was a little bit let down. So I'm going to put the lady at a C. What do you think of the tier system right now? What do you think of these rankings, guys? I want to hear what you have to say. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this so far. And what do you think of the remaining characters down below? Where do you think they're going to be put before I put them in the ranking system? Let me know. Okay, guys. Big character coming up. The bullies. Yes, there was so much content for Little Nightmares 2 surrounding the bullies. This is where we got the cranberry juice and the cranberry juice and the cranberry juice. That kitchen part with Mono sneaking around was absolutely amazing. There was so much content to do. And also you can play as a bully. You can play as Sally in the game if you mod it. So that was also super fun. Every single character really, had contact with the bullies, whether if it was Six, being hung by the rope, or Mono trying to destroy all the bullies or make friends with the bullies. Also the teacher with all the bully scenes. Oh my god, that was one of my favorites to create content on, is when you're Mono in the classroom and the teacher is just slapping the desk of the bullies. Did you do your homework? That was really fun to make. I really like the bullies. I think the content was really high quality, and it was an amazing scene in the game in Little Nightmares 2. I'm gonna rank them pretty high, guys. I'm actually going to put them at a A. I think they're an A tier character in the game, guys. I even added the hand. I added the hand. I think we had some really funny parts with Six and Mono eating the hand and trying to beat the crap out of it. And when Mono's using the superpowers to just like evade it instead of hitting it. There's some really funny parts, but I mean, it is just a hand. Let's be honest. Like, we can't really put the hand up here to Loa alone and the lady, right? And the doctor. It wouldn't make sense. Like, did I enjoy making the content surrounding this part? Yes, absolutely. Does it deserve to be higher than a C? No. I honestly think it ranks with the Granny and the Leech. I think they're just, antagonists that are kind of just there to provide some sort of filler before you see the bigger, harder, and more fun antagonists. So I'm going to put the hand at a D. All right, guys. This should be an easy one, to be honest. It's the teacher. Also, the teacher we can make as the small teacher that we were able to play as a protagonist in the game. The content and just the voice behind the teacher, very funny. Even just having it as an NPC, some of the parts, like, man, my frog juice. And then just jumping around, all of the glitches that happen with the teacher with her neck getting stuck, and just like when she's making the song about Mono and Six and everything, was just really fun to do. And there was so much content for the teacher. Playing as small teacher was one of my favorite things to do in the game. Modding the teacher, I think she was just like, she was the perfect anti-hero if you're playing the small teacher as a protagonist. Some of the best parts were made playing as the teacher. I know a lot of you continue to ask for more content regarding small teacher. So this one's going to be an easy one for me. I mean, this is the first antagonist that's going to break through the A barrier and is going to join Mono in the S tier. I think the content really propelled the channel forward, and there was just so much content to make. She even made it into the VR videos. We were able to put the teacher skin on and make some hilarious content in the VR chat. So small teacher and teacher S tier for sure for me. All right, so far the Pretender is the only one on an F, which is really sad because I do think the Pretender had a lot of potential. I mean, being the main character in a game and a really strong, powerful boss, I mean, she does have great superpowers. She just didn't do anything, and she died fairly quickly at the end of the game. So it's sad, but let's move forward. We have the Janitor, our first main villain in Little Nightmares 1. I thought this was a really good start for the series to, appear as the first villain. I think the character design was really cool. I think we actually saw him later in the game as well. I think with Runaway Kid DLC, where you're in that very dark corridor. That was actually pretty spooky. That caught me by surprise. I think the puzzles and escaping the Janitor were super fun. The amount of funny content, yeah, I mean, it's pretty fun cutting his arms off. Right, let's be honest. Cutting his arms off was really his noodle arms was really funny. Let's see. In terms of an antagonist, he had way more content than, say, the granny and the hand, the leech, and everything. Would I put him at a B? You know what? Like, he's actually a pretty important character in the game, and he appears a lot. He does appear a lot. Would I put him at a C? I think if I put him at a C compared to the lady, I'd be a little bit upset. The Janitor is very close in nature to the craftsman, but honestly, we did have a lot more content than people would think. So I'm actually going to put the Janitor at a B. I really like the character design. I like that he only is able to listen. So you have to be very, strategic in doing all the tasks. Just don't make any noise. And that's very hard to do when you're a little kid and you're very dumb. So I'm going to put him at a B for the Janitor. Okay. This one I really like. Okay. This is one of my favorite antagonists in the game. It's the twin chefs. Yes. So much content was made on this. This part was honestly a highlight of the channel. If you guys haven't seen it, or you don't know what I'm about to say, then you gotta watch the content. Link in the description below. Watch all the videos. You will not be disappointed. Guys, the chef, you know what I'm about to say. A mighty sword. That part is just a highlight of the channel. I mean, I remember putting that clip on the video when he chops the meat, and you guys went crazy. And it's also just like character design. He's absolutely disgusting. I think the content in the kitchen was really fun to make. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with the chef. I think he's just a very important part of the game. A lot of good achievements if you haven't gotten all the achievements. So yeah, I highly recommend giving this guy at least a B. I think the amount of content we made, is almost an A, but I can't put the bullies and the chef in the same tier. I don't think it makes sense. I'm actually going to put the chef slightly below the visitors and put the chef at a B. Okay, the butler. Honestly, one of the characters with the most superpowers. Yeah, if you didn't know. If he catches you, I mean, you're dead. Like, if he sees you, you're basically dead. He's going to lift you up in the air and just kill you. Now, can we make a lot of funny compilations on the butler? No, not really. He's just a character there to kill you. I like the design. I think it's pretty cool. Very spooky when you do see him in Very Little Nightmares. But in terms of the content, right? In terms of the funny compilations, the amount of content we were able to make and laugh about, I don't think I can put him as high as the chef. Now, it's going to be a little bit hard to put him at a C as well. So like, he's between a D and a C, I have to say. Because he does have a good amount of superpowers. He does. So I don't know. Putting the butler down by the hand I don't think it's fair. I think if you put those two together, I mean, the butler would win hands down. I also don't want to put him the same tier as the leech. So he's going to go into a C ranking. I think that's fair enough. All right, guys. 2 characters left. 2 big characters. And we have 6. We have 69. And I mean, this is a pretty easy one to rank. I mean, if it wasn't for 6, there wouldn't be any Little Nightmares. 6 is still around somewhere. We don't know what she's doing. We had some unbelievable funny compilations. She's a fan favorite for sure. So much fan art has been made around 6. Very easy. I think she belongs with Mono and the teacher in an S tier. Hands down, the easiest one to rank, in my opinion, on top of Mono. So, not the same as Raincoat Girl. Raincoat Girl stuck at a B, even though it's pretty much the same character design. I'm going to give 6 an S ranking for 6. Finally, the last one. Now, I'm probably missing a couple characters, but I couldn't make this so long of a video. But we're going to keep the mannequins, the hospital, the patients. Yes, the patients last. The videos with Mono and the patients were amazing. This was honestly my favorite. My favorite, like, spooky little puzzle, like, runaway content in the game was the patients. Actually, super creepy, super scary, super funny at parts. So I'm actually going to give them a pretty high ranking because I do think that the amount of content made with the patients was pretty high. I think it deserves a higher ranking than the viewers and the chef and the janitor for sure. So yeah, I think they deserve a place up here in an A ranking, guys. So that's going to be it. I mean, this is the tier list for Little Nightmare characters, in my opinion, based off my funny compilations. We have Mono, the teacher, in 6 at an S ranking. We have the visitors, Thin Mono, the hunter, the bullies, and the patients at an A. We have the viewers, Bob, aka Runaway Kid, the gnomes, Raincoat Girl, otherwise known as 9, the janitor, and the chef at a B. Now we have Low and Alone at a C because we just don't know yet. They're probably going to rank up for sure, especially Low. I think I'm going to like Low a lot. We have the doctor, the craftsman, the lady, unfortunately, at a C, and the butler as well. And then the D rankings coming in pretty low. We have the leech, the poor granny, and the hand. And the most upsetting character, in my opinion, even though the fan art was pretty cool, guys, I have to admit, is the pretender. The superpowers were there, but it was lacking in content. I was a bit upset, so I put her last. Let me know what you guys think about this tier system. What are your opinions? Do you think that this is fair? Would you move any of these characters around? Let me know in the comments down below. Make your own ranking system and put them in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.